la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh yeah, baby, give it to me, da da da. Suck it to me now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Suck it to me now.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
This program is intended for mature audiences only. If you have any homicidal or suicidal feelings, please consult a doctor before listening to this program.
Yeah, too loud, baby, too loud. Good afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for joining us here, HTLA Radio 1, Coffee and Cigarettes, for this December 31st, 2014. My God. Coffee and Cigarettes today, the 2015 blend, if you will. Yes, little things of tastes to come, or little tastes of things to come. Oh, that is a good one. Yes, and I won't be getting rid of my drum anytime soon. Yes, well, today it's the last show of 2014 at the old coffee shop, and before the ball drops, gun experts are blown away. Yes, they are. Texas reporter Kimalicious Powell lays down some Alphabet Aerobics New York City style to warm up for her report today. And speaking of Kim, Korea's Kim Jong Un flies a cardboard plane. Yes, all that and much more to come today. So come on in and grab a cup, have a seat, and light one up. It's the last Coffee and Cigs of 2014. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Coffee and Cigarettes. I am your host, Chris Crash Jesus Taylor, in the HTLA Studio 2 in downtown Manhattan right now. 3:05 p.m. on the big clock. Just less than 9 hours away from that big ball dropping in Times Square. Ah, yes. 2015. What do you think? Damn. That's, yeah. Well, I guess what they say is true. Time flies when you're having fun. There we go. That must be what that is. So, lots of good fun stuff for you today on the program. And actually, a little kind of surprise. Yes, we got a surprise coming up at 4. Yes, at the top of the hour, as those radio dudes like to say. Yes, special mystery guest coming into the studio here today with us to help us usher in the 2015. Yes. So you'll just have to kick around and wait and see who the heck that is, because they're going to be right here. Ah, yes. Yes, they are. Oh, so what do we got today? Well, before we get into anything, of course, I have to introduce Jenny in the booth here with us at Studio 2, as always, pushing all the buttons, making things light up. And, of course, the one and the only, the man who joins us every week, actually every day, without fail. He has always been here since we started the show, well, coming up on a month and a half now. And, 36 days. This is the 36th episode of Coffee and Cigarettes, if anybody's counting. And, all 36 days, this man has been here to come and help out and I don't know, take the load, as it were, the hosting load. Yes, take that hosting load, Louis.
That was a mistake on my part.
I know. Well, he's here with us today, live from Mill Bay Studios in beautiful downtown Mill Bay, British Columbia, Canada. The one, the only Mr. Louis Lawless.
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
Yes, and I don't know. Somebody get a hold of Kate. See if we can get clearance just for today to let Louis cuss all over the place.
Can you give me any help for $25,000?
What?
Can you give me any help for $25,000?
$25,000.
I go a half an hour. Do I get $50,000?
Well, let's see here. I'm gonna figure this out now. Let's see. Half an hour for 50,000. So this show's an hour long. So 50,000, there it is right there, times 36 shows, which would be to today. That would mean that I owe you $1.8 million. No.
I need to try and raise $25,000 to enter in the Academy Awards, and I think it's a fantastic risk because we have a tremendous chance. There's about 200 members that vote on it, and they all you have to give them a DVD now.
No, a DVD for 1.8 million. No. Yeah, we're just gonna go no with that one. Lots of big stuff on the big program today, of course, and not the least of which is, of course, the Texas reporter who raps like a pro before her broadcast, and it was actually caught on tape early this morning, in front of Unique Nails and Spa, way down in Texas. Yes, it was. The cameraman to the reporter actually called in sick today, and so they had a replacement cameraman, and the replacement cameraman, well, he decided to put his stuff on YouTube. So we've got that for you, and you're probably sitting there going, well, geez, okay, but why is this any story you're putting on the old Coffee and Cigarettes here? Usually it's, important things like Kim Jong Un flying a cardboard plane. Well, trust me, we've got that too, but, well, this lady's got some talent, and it's not just for TV reporting. Yes. We all have ways of loosening up, sure, but Texas TV reporter Kim Powell found a particularly interesting way to do so before going on the air this morning, rapping Blackalicious's 1999 hit song, Alphabet Aerobics, in full. Yeah. Powell's a 2012 Benjamin State University graduate, majored in mass communication. She started memorizing raps while attending the university because as she put it, it would be a good way to learn how to enunciate my words. Geez, maybe I should do that too. After landing a job earlier this month with News West 9 in Texas, Powell wanted to memorize a tongue twister, and within just 4 days, she apparently had Alphabet Aerobics down pat. Well, she's not the only one. Of course, on the Jimmy Kimmel show? Is it the Jimmy Kimmel show? Which show is it? I always get him and that other guy from Saturday Night Live confused. Jimmy Kimmel or the other guy? Jimmy Fallon. Oh, there we go. Kimmel Fallon. Fallon Kimmel. Kimmel Fallon. Well, here's Daniel Radcliffe's viral rendition of the song to give you a little taste of what this reporter has in store for you today.
You're a big music fan.
I am a big music fan, yeah.
You're a big rap fan.
I am. I like, which surprises a lot of people about me. But yeah, I am.
What rap do you enjoy?
Well, I think initially I got into Eminem and was obsessed with learning. I think every kid in my class. I think I was the first kid in my class to learn all the words to Real Slim Shady, and I've always had an obsession with. There's also guys like Plan B in England who you should check out. And okay, sweet. But yeah, I've always had kind of an obsession with memorizing complicated, lyrically intricate and fast songs, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
it's a disease.
Blackalicious's Alphabet Aerobics.
That would be one.
You know how to do that whole song?
Yeah, I do, yes.
That's one of the trickiest, fastest songs I know.
Well, yeah. Can I take my jacket off?
Sure. Yeah, I'll do it with you. Let's go.
Okay.
All right, you guys.
Now it's time for our wrap-up. Let's give it everything we've got. Ready? Begin. You begin.
Artificial amateurs aren't at all amazing. Analytically, I assault, animate things. Broken barriers bound in by the bomb beat. Buildings are broken, basically I'm bombarding. Casually create catastrophes, casualties, canceling cats got their canopies collapsing. Detonate a dime a dank, daily do and do. Demonstrations, Don Dada on the down low. Eating other editors with each and every energetic, epileptic episode, elevated etiquette. Furious, fat, fabulous, fantastic. Flurries of funk felt feeding the fanatics. Gift got great, global goods gone glorious. Getting godly in his game with the goriest. Hit him high, hella height, historical. Hey, Holocaust hands, hear him holler at your homeboy. Imitators idolize, I intimidate. In an instant, I'll rise in an irate state. Juiced on my jams like Jerry Curls, ducking joints justly. It's just me writing my journals. Kindly am kindling all kinds of ink on. Karate Kid type Brits in my kingdom. Let me live a long life, lyrically lessons is learn lame louses, just lose to my leverage. My mind makes marvelous moves, masses. Marvel and move, many mock what I've mastered. Nap no when I'm nice naturally. Knack never nap, make noise nationally. Operation opposition off, not optional. Out of sight, out of mind, wide beaming obstacles. Perfected poem, powerful punchlines. Pummeling petty powder puffs in my prime. Quite quotes, keep quiet, it's quantum. Coral isn't got a quart of water, we gotta. Really raw raps, rising up rapidly, riding the rushing radioactivity. Super scientific, sound sort thought. Silencing, superfly, saps out of soft. Tails 10 time talented, too tough. Take that, challengers, get a tune up. Universal, unique, untouched, unadulterated, the raw uncut. Verb vice lords, victorious, valid. Violate vines at a vein, make him vanish. Well, my word with a Wadsworth Smith just weeded up. Words weaving up, I'm a worship. Xerox, Max, radiation, old, extra large, X height letters, 6 xylophone tones. Yellowback, yak mouth, young ones, yours. Yesterday's zones, all cells, all yawns. Zigzag zombies, zooming to the zenith. Zero incense, also overzealous from Zealots. Come on!
There he is. That's the Daniel Radcliffe version. And now I present to you on this Coffee and Cigarettes, yes, New Year's special, I guess you'd call it, Kim Powell's version from, well, about 5:35 this morning.
Artificial amateurs aren't at all amazing. Analytically, I assault, animate things. Broken barriers bounded by the bomb beat. Buildings are broken, basically I'm bombarding. Casually create catastrophes, casualties. Canceling cats got the canopies collapsing. Detonate a dime a dank, Galen doing dough. Demonstrations, Don Dada on the down low. Eating other editors with each and every energetic, epileptic episode, elevated etiquette. Furious, fat, fabulous, fantastic. Flurries of funk felt feeding the fanatics. Gift got great, global goods gone glorious. Getting godly in his game with the goriest. Hit him high, hella height, historical. Hey, Holocaust, since hear him holler at the homeboy. Imitators idolize, I intimidate in an instant. All rise in an outrage state. Juiced on my jams like Jerry Curls, rocking joints justly. It's just me writing my journals. Kindly and kindling all kinds of ink on. Karate Kid, cat Brits in my kingdom. Let me live a long life, lyrically lessons is learn lane losses, just lose to my livery. My mind makes marvelous moves, masses. Marvel and move, many mock what I masters. Newbie snack, no one on nice naturally. Knack never lack, make noise nationally. Operation opposition off, not optional. Out of sight, out of mind, wide beaming opticals. Perfect poem, powerful punchlines. Pummeling petty powder puffs in my prime. Quite quaint quotes keep quantum as quantum. Corridors ain't got a quarter of a we gotta. Really raw raps, rising up rapidly, riding the rushing radioactivity. Super scientifical sound search thought. Silencing super fire saps that are soft. Tails 10 times talented, too tough. Take that, challengers, get a tune-up. Universal, unique gun touch. Unadulterated, the raw uncut. Verb by floor, victorious valid. Violate vibes out of vein, make advantage. Wall mall well, what a wise worth midgets. Weaving up words, weeded up on my worship. Xerox, max radiation, holes, extra large. X-type letters and xylophone tones. Yellow back, yak, knock, young ones, y'alls. Yesterday's on yard sale, ion. Zigzag zombie, zoom to the zenith. Send thoughts overzealous, rhyme, zealots. Mic drop.
Good.
Well, there she goes at 5:35 this morning. Oh, man. I wouldn't have a hope on this God's green earth to do that. No. Oh, no, I wouldn't.
That was a mistake on my part.
Okay, all right.
My film, Unrepented, did very well in Europe.
I know it did. And actually, I just recently talked to the producer of our fine film there, Unrepentant.
No, I don't, because I asked him, I said, well, fly out here and I'll film you.
You're filming the producer. Okay, all right, sure, all right. I'll go with that.
Can you give me any help for $25,000?
Only if you live in Greenwich Village.
I lived in Greenwich Village for a while when I first started out as an actor.
Well, yes, but of course the question is now, do you live there now?
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawless.
Okay, let's get on to what we're actually doing here. What did you think of Kim's rendition of the lovely rap there?
The music is fantastic.
Mm.
Oh, you got to hear it.
Well, I did. We just played the clip. And then, of course, there was, Daniel Radcliffe's version there, too.
I think it should be short and sweet.
Yeah, it was. Well, I mean, it took, 2 minutes and 37 seconds, I think it took him. She actually did it in a minute 58. So, if anybody, I think, is going to give $25,000, it'd be her. There you go. Well, I did kind of get a little excited here at the end of the beginning of the show. Yes, I got excited at the end of the show, too. You just don't know it yet because you're listening to the future. Yes. No, at the beginning of the show, I kind of just, I don't know what I'm just not going to say anything. I kind of skipped over, probably the most important part of the entire show, at least to me personally. Yes. And that is, of course, that this show is partially brought to you by the fine folks at Tim Hortons, New York City, with those 8 wonderful locations that I frequent like more than a Vietnamese massage parlor. I'm always there, and it's always fresh. Not the Vietnamese massage parlor. That's almost never fresh. You be quiet. You go away. Yes. So moving on with things now.
I got lost. HTLA.
Right.
Oh, HTLA. Hell is that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's your career. Right over there where it's supposed to be.
You love to do that kind of stuff. You always did.
What?
And put your name up there and dress in different stuff. So fantastic. If I can be of any help, let me know. So what's the email address?
Dress in different stuff. Dude, I did the transgender show yesterday. That's we're not doing that anymore. And no, I don't like dressing up in different stuff. I don't know what that means.
That was a mistake on my part.
Okay, well, everybody makes mistakes, and, let that be your last one of 2014. How about that? So, yes, Tim Hortons, New York City, whip by one of those fine locations and check them out. Grab some coffee. If you're a Dunkin' Donuts fanatic, I'm issuing a 2015 challenge. Just go out there and try Tim Hortons coffee once. You will not go back to dumb spin donuts. No, you won't. No, you won't. 31 degrees right now in the city, partly cloudy in Central Park, and just partly cloudy for the next couple of days. However, I have been handed some very bad information. This just passed to me by Jenny over the desk here. Yes, Saturday we're confirmed for at least 3 inches of snow. And while many of you are probably sitting there listening, thinking, 3 inches, that's nothing. Yes, well, on the West Coast, that is pretty much nothing, although you're screwed. You can't drive in it. But here, 3 inches, I've kind of learned over being here the last 4 years that 3 inches actually means 4.2 feet. That's in Canadian measurement there. So, yeah, not looking forward to Saturday at all. We're getting the snow. But, hey, at least it's just going to be partly cloudy and really, 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 really freaking cold for the New Year's Eve ball dropping tonight in the big old square. Yes, the square. We love the square. So yeah, there's the Rapid News Reporter that now we can all know and love, and that I got to say, that was impressive. I think I was keeping up with it all until the letter D, and then of course I lost track. I don't know.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawless.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. You do Alphabet Aerobics there just as good as, well, I'm not even going to say Kim, because she was like pretty bang on with that. She was on top of her stuff. But do it at least as good as Daniel Radcliffe, and I will give you that $25,000 you seek.
Can you give me any help for $25,000?
I just told you exactly how. You have to learn Alphabet Aerobics and call in, give it to me here, and I will record it and play it until the end of time, because I would pay serious money to hear that. Also, the fine show today is, of course,
powered by Procast.
Yes, it is. We don't use any electricity here. It's all Procast power. There you go. Pretty cool, huh? I thought so. Well, let's get on to some of the rest of the show's content today. First, Air Asia Flight 8501 bodies arrive at the airport. Of course, yesterday I told you all on the show about how the television news crews there inadvertently, I guess accidentally, picked up floating bodies of loved ones during a live feed to a command center that was set up at the local airport there in Indonesia. And the families all got an IMAX-size view of bits and pieces of their loved ones floating in the ocean. That's always nice. Little post-Christmas bonus present for you. Well, anyway, the first 2 bodies from Air Asia Flight 8501 arrived Wednesday at a military airstrip in Surabia's airport, where many of the passengers' relatives are still gathered. It came as bad weather hindered efforts to recover the bodies of the passengers and crew from the Java Sea and sent wreckage drifting far from the crash site. But they got to watch it all in glorious HD. There were 162 people aboard the Airbus A320, which vanished on Sunday morning while flying from Surabaya to Singapore. The search for bodies was severely limited due to heavy rains, wind, and thick clouds on Wednesday. Heranto, the head of Surabia's search and rescue, said 7 bodies had been recovered so far, 3 on Tuesday and the rest today. Indonesia's search and rescue chief, Henry Bambang, yes, I'm not kidding, Henry Bambang. I'm sorry. Are you kidding me?
That was a mistake on my part.
No, you didn't do that. Henry Bambang, ladies and gentlemen, the crack search and rescue man heading up the search for the bodies. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Henry Bambang. Bambang. Oh, kids. No Bambang for you. My goodness. Well, they said they included a woman wearing a flight attendant's uniform, so we think she was probably a flight attendant. Local media identified her as 20-year-old trainee. Okay, here, I'm sorry. Again, we're going to spell the name. Khairunisa. That's the first name, so you figure it out. Haidar is the apparent middle name. And Fauzi, I guess Fauzi. Okay, I got Fauzi. Yay! Woohoo! Yeah, flight attendant Fauzi. That's what I'll refer to her as from now on. Reuters, meanwhile, updated and corrected its earlier report that quoted Tatang... I'm going to say Tatang Z, thank you, an official with the Search and Rescue Agency, headed up by Bam Bang there, as saying that one of the bodies recovered Wednesday was wearing a life jacket. Oh, that must have been one of the people clinging to life. Yeah. Clinging to life. Yeah. The news agency quoted the same official later as saying that the initial report was inaccurate. There is no victim that has been found wearing a life jacket, Z told reporters, adding, "We found a body at 8:20 a.m. and a life jacket at 10:32, so there was a time difference. That is the latest information we have." Yeah, no. Helicopters were largely grounded because of the weather Wednesday, but ships were still scouring the sea. Sonar images identified what appeared to be large parts of a plane, but strong currents were moving the wreckage deep underwater. Investigators are still trying to determine what caused the jetliner to crash in Indonesian waters. After more than 2 days of searching now, the Indonesian National Search and Rescue Agency, yes, Mr. Bam Bang heading that up, confirmed Tuesday that debris from the aircraft was found in the Karamada Strait off the coast of Borneo. Parts of the jet's interior, including an oxygen tank, were brought to the nearest town, Pangklan on Borneo Island. Also found, was a bright blue plastic suitcase, completely unscathed. The jet's black boxes, cockpit voice and flight data recorders that are key to understanding what caused the crash, have not yet been recovered. Simple wooden boxes containing bodies with signs numbered 001 and 002 were unloaded in Pangklan Bun. You see, that's why I never go to, visit places like Singapore, because I would be helpless as a baby, a 4-year-old. Where are we going? Where are we at now? We're taking a tour to where? I wouldn't have a clue. Pangklan Bun. Yes, there you go. There were flowers placed on top of the two caskets, and they were flown to Surabaya later. Rescue workers descended from a hovering helicopter to retrieve bodies from the water, but 6-foot waves and strong winds hindered their efforts. National Research. Oh my God, it's these names. They've got me screwed.
My film, Unrepented, did very well in Europe.
I know. And, if you actually showed your film in Pangklan Bun, you might do better there. Yes. National Search and Rescue Director S.B. Supradyi said about the 6-foot waves and strong winds hindering the efforts. Yeah. Yes. Search and Rescue Director S.B. Supradyi. Okay. It seems all the wreckage found has drifted more than 50 kilometers, or 31 miles, from yesterday's location, and Vice Air Marshal Sunbar... Oh, man. I'm serious. I'm not doing any of these names anymore. I'm just going to call him SB. Yes, the Vice Air Marshal, SB. Search and Rescue Coordinator in Pangklan Bun. Oh, okay, so from now on, the town is going to be PB, okay, so just remember peanut butter. The Vice Air Marshal is SB, okay, kind of like I don't know, something that starts with an S and a B. There you go. We are expecting those bodies will end up on beaches. Recovering bodies was expected to remain difficult for the near future. Indonesia's Meteorology and Geophysics Agency predicted that the conditions would worsen with more intense rains through Friday. AirAsia CEO Tony Fernandez. Oh, thank you. There's a name I can read. Said Wednesday, the search and rescue operations were unfortunately hampered by bad weather today, but I am hopeful that they will be able to resume the search tomorrow. As search operations continued today, symbols of the tragedy began to accumulate around the Juanda airport in Surabaya. Large flower wreaths were placed near the crisis center at the airport, while a Catholic priest and a Protestant clergy were on hand to support the relatives of the passengers, a number of whom are Christians. One Surabaya church, Manwar Sharon Church, lost 41 members in the crash. On Wednesday, about 100 relatives gathered for a prayer service in the hall at the airport, where Reverend Philip Mantoffa urged the crowd to hold on to their faith despite their pain. Some things do not make sense to us, but God is bigger than all this, he said. Our God is not evil. Help us, God, to move forward even though we are surrounded by darkness. And rain and 6-foot waves and, At nearby Grana Serbagana. What? Yes. At nearby Grana Serbagana, a multi-purpose complex used by the Navy, roughly 40 ambulances were assembled to transport the first recovered bodies. Hey, just a side note, guys. You don't need ambulances. They're already dead. There you go. Arif Kernawan, a police officer wanting the ambulances, said that the bodies would be taken to Bayankara Hospital. Yes, I'm going to go with that. Barankia Hospital, about 10 miles from the airport. For grieving relatives, the wait continued, both for bodies to be recovered and identified, and for answers as to what caused the crash. William Kai, whose brother-in-law David Gunawan and his wife and 2 children, ages 7 and 10, were on the flight, said his family were leaning on each other and their faith in God for strength. We are devastated for sure, he said. We are humans. We're never ready for this kind of stuff. We just have to stay strong for each other. He said they were still holding on to a sliver. Yeah, I could do aerobatic alphabet there. You got it. So they were holding on to a sliver of hope for survivors, thinking logically that the chances are very, very low, he said. Right now we live by faith, not by sight. We believe in God. Airport management company Ankersha, I'm just going to call them AP, thank you, officially handed over responsibility for the crisis center to Air Asia on Wednesday evening. The center will be relocated Thursday morning to Bayankara Hospital. Yes, that B hospital again. The Airbus A320, which took off from Surabaya to Singapore, lost contact with air traffic control Sunday morning. Pilots had asked permission to climb to avoid a storm, but 6 other aircraft were in the vicinity, so controllers denied the request. Minutes later, the jet vanished from radar screens without declaring an emergency. And that's the latest on the flight 8501, right there. What do you know? We're going to go for our first 2-minute commercial break, and when we come back, we'll get into some gun experts on some very strange happenings with a recent killing.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
What if there was a coffee that was sourced from some of the world's most renowned growing regions, abundant with rich, fertile soil? What if this coffee was picked at the perfect moment, then packed meticulously and shipped carefully to be roasted under the watchful eye of coffee masters? What if it was expertly blended, ground, and sealed, ensuring maximum flavor and freshness, then brewed in small batches and always served fresh within 20 minutes, just the way you like it? Now, what if this coffee just happened to be the coffee you already know and love? Tim Hortons, always fresh, always great tasting coffee.
In this fast-paced, digital everything life, there's nothing like experiencing the world's finest journalism in its original form. So sign up today for as little as $3.80 a week to receive the greatest newspaper in the world and all the incredible experiences that come with it.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the Egyptian cotton towels. Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York. Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Instead of mailing everyone my vacation photos, I'm saving a ton of time by posting them to my wall.
Ooh, I like that one.
It's so quick. It's just like my car insurance. I saved 15% in just 15 minutes.
I saved more than that in half the time.
I'd unfriend you.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
15 minutes for a quote isn't how it works anymore. With Esurance, 7.5 minutes could save you on car insurance. Welcome to the modern world. Esurance, backed by Allstate. Click or call.
Glasses. White Rum has a new captain. Introducing the all-new Captain Morgan White Rum. 5 times distilled for a smoother taste.
The hot new accessory, brows that wow. New from Maybelline, New York, it's Brow Drama, our first sculpting ball brush with tinted gel. Just sweep, then sculpt for bolder, sculpted brows. New Brow Drama. Get the look at Maybelline.com.
Maybe it's Maybelline. You've got it locked to New York's best talk. HTLA Radio 1.
The groovy sounds of the world beat. Yes, that's our new happy-go-lucky kicking into 2015 tune there, the world beat. Yeah, hope you like it. Took me, well, about 3 hours to work it out on the old MIDI keyboard and about another 2 hours to sequence it and everything properly and get it mastered in there, and then another hour or two to work in the voiceovers and cut a whole bunch of new clips for us for 2015, but I did it all for you. That's right. I didn't even come to bed last night. Kate's pissed. Yes, it's those damned kids again.
That was a mistake on my part.
Well, Louis, keep them in check, man. What am I paying you for?
I think it should be short and sweet.
Your check? Yes, it will be.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawless.
I absolutely, I've got it.
The music is fantastic.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you got to hear it.
What do you mean hear it? I made it. Yes. Welcome back to the big program this afternoon. Coffee and cigarettes, the 2015 blend. 31 degrees still, Central Park, and it's partially cloudy for the next couple of days and cold until the 4 feet of snow just drops out of the air onto my head for at least another 5 months. Yes, I'm very excited and looking forward to it. But hey, at least during the next 5 months, while I'm buried in snow, we can have a nice coffee and a smoke every day and sit here and talk about, well, this next story. Because it might take us 5 months to figure it out. I told you yesterday about a woman in Hayden, Ohio, who was killed yesterday by her own gun, apparently pulled out of her purse by her 2-year-old, who subsequently shot their mother at a Walmart in a tragic apparent accident. Well, a gun shop owner in Spokane, Washington, considers the shooting highly improbable, something she's never seen before. And I would kind of have to agree, because that particular gun, you're talking about a 6.5 to 7 pound trigger pull, and 2-year-olds just do not possess that kind of strength. Sorry. I know. It is sad, kids. But, you know, one day, and it won't be too long, I'll take you all to the range, and Kate will give you shooting lessons because I suck. There you go. See, now don't say I never gave you anything.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawless.
Yes, I do. And I will be sure to send that promptly, right away. Well, Murphy's Law just came into play today in so many ways, the gun expert says, and there are irreversible consequences for that. The gun expert, of course, being Robin Ball, owner of Sharpshooting Indoor Range and Gun Club. She said this yesterday. In the blink of an eye, the tragedy happened just before 10:30 in the morning, Mountain Time on Tuesday. A mother was shopping with her nieces, looking to see where they might spend gift cards they received for Christmas. Her 2-year-old was sitting in the shopping cart in the child's seat at the back of the cart, with his mom's purse nearby. The toddler apparently reached in, unzipped a special concealed pouch where the woman kept her pistol, and pulled the gun's trigger. The next moment, Veronica Rutledge, 29, of Blackfoot, Idaho, was dead, shot in the head by her only son. Ball and Rutledge's handgun, if it were recent vintage, likely had no external safety mechanisms. Many newer firearms have safeties on the side. If you draw the gun out, you don't have to fumble with the safety before the gun will work for you, said Ball, who's been in business for 20 years. Gun manufacturers instituted those changes after complaints from law enforcement officers, she said, as a trade-off. Gun makers made it harder for gun triggers to be pulled. Many firearms now require at least 5 pounds of pressure for a trigger to work, she said. That's nearly twice as much pressure as in older guns. A couple of pounds pressure makes a lot of difference when we're talking about the weight of a trigger, Ball said. A typical 3-year-old boy has a grip strength of about 1 pound per square inch, according to a study published in the American Journal of Occupational Therapy more than 20 years ago. What Ball considers most shocking is that the toddler was able to grip the gun in the first place. Their fingers usually don't reach the trigger, she said, until they turn their hand around to put their thumb on the trigger. While the Brady Center to Prevent Gun Violence mourned Rutledge's death at the hands of her child and said in a statement that children's easy access to guns often has deadly consequences, so we're going to sue the manufacturer. No recent reliable numbers on gun ownership are available, but a 2001 nationwide survey that the Washington Post cited found that more than half of the Idaho respondents had guns, a rate that put the state among the top 10 in overall firearms ownership. Every day as parents, we make rational choices regarding our family's safety. We buckle our children's seatbelts, we make them wear bicycle helmets, and teach them to look both ways before crossing the street. According to the center's statement, many parents bring a gun into the home illegally with no intent of doing harm. Many think they're doing their family a service by offering protection. Yet these guns cause the majority of gun deaths and injuries. For East Coast residents, the idea that a young mother would carry a legal loaded firearm shopping with her kids might seem unusual. But in the West, especially rural areas where hunting remains an integral way of life, many people carry guns wherever they go. Although I can't see that as having anything to do with anything, because she wasn't packing around a Remington 308 with a scope for deer. No. A Colorado restaurant encourages its customers to carry their weapons inside, features pistol-packing waitresses, all of whom have taken concealed carry classes. Rutledge's Facebook is filled with friends posing their hunting trophies, including deer and bison. She was not the least bit irresponsible, said her father-in-law, Terry Rutledge. She was taken much too soon. So there you go. There you go. Don't let your toddler pull your 9 on you. Just don't do that. It's not good at all. Well, I kind of got screwed up at the beginning of the show and then kind of got screwed up again at the 20 after when I was supposed to go for a commercial. So legally, I'm obliged to fire off our second set of commercials right now. Actually, I'm 5 minutes late for those two. But oh well, sue me. It's New Year's Eve, for God's sake. Does that mean all of you kids are going to sue me? Okay, well, we'll be back in 2, and we'll get into some Guantanamo Bay news.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
Good morning. Welcome to Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, where fresh always tastes better. What can I make you this morning?
How about our new flatbread breakfast paninis? Made fresh, just for you, with your favorite breakfast ingredients on maple or multigrain flatbread, then grilled to hot, melted perfection. Just $2.99. Who couldn't warm up to that?
Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, where quality really does meet value.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the
Egyptian cotton towels.
Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York.
Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
In this fast-paced, digital everything life, there's nothing like experiencing the world's finest journalism in its original form. So sign up today for as little as $3.80 a week to receive the greatest newspaper in the world and all the incredible experiences that come with it.
Instead of mailing everyone my vacation photos, I'm saving a ton of time by posting them to my wall.
Ooh, I like that one.
It's so quick. It's just like my car insurance. I saved 15% in just 15 minutes.
I saved more than that in half the time.
I'd unfriend you.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
15 minutes for a quote isn't how it works anymore. With Esurance, 7.5 minutes could save you on car insurance. Welcome to the modern world. Esurance, backed by Allstate. Click or call.
Glasses. White Rum has a new captain. Introducing the all-new Captain Morgan White Rum. 5 times distilled for a smoother taste.
The hot new accessory, brows that wow. New from Maybelline, New York, it's Brow Drama, our first sculpting ball brush with tinted gel. Just sweep, then sculpt for bolder, sculpted brows. New Brow Drama. Get the look at Maybelline.com.
Maybe it's Maybelline. You've got it locked to New York's best talk. HTLA Radio 1.
Yes, you do. Thank you, Kissy. That's right. And we are back. Welcome back to HTLA Radio 1 New York and Coffee and Cigarettes for this December 31st, 2014. The show, of course, today, the 2015 blend. Yes, all the goodness you have to look forward to next year. Or not. Yes. Well, what about Guantanamo Bay next year? That would be interesting, wouldn't it, Louis?
And I finally figured out how to edit. $88,000 a year they make, approximately average, 80, let's say. And there's 1,000. That's $88 million a year that we're paying as taxpayers.
And that's just one Gitmo. Yeah. I don't know. I think he's watching TV. That's what it is. I think he watches TV, some other show, while he's doing this one, and every time I draw his attention to the headphones, he just says whatever's happening. I don't know. Anywho, the U.S. sends 5 Guantanamo Bay prisoners to Kazakhstan. Weird. Or is it? Well, the United States transferred 5 prisoners from its Guantanamo Bay prison to Kazakhstan overnight last night. The Pentagon announced this morning amid renewed Obama administration efforts to close the controversial facility. This brings the total number of Gitmo transfers this year to 28. The prison that has held nearly 800 prisoners over the years began in 2014 with 155 detainees. The prison population is now down to 127. It's an 18% overall decrease. The United States coordinated with the government of Kazakhstan to ensure these transfers took place, consistent with appropriate security and humane treatment measures, said the Pentagon announcement this morning. Now, this is the first time Kazakhstan has accepted detainees. President Obama has vowed to redouble his efforts to close the facility that he says inspires anti-U.S. jihadists across the globe and cost millions of American dollars per year to operate. I think Louis did the math on that a minute ago. I'm going to be doing everything I can to close it, Obama said on CNN earlier this month. Congressional Republicans have objected to Obama's plans, saying many of the detainees transferred out of Gitmo return to the battlefield against the U.S. and its allies. Senator Lindsey Graham, RSC, told CBS News this month that there is likely to be one hell of a fight between Obama and the congressional Republicans this year over Guantanamo Bay. Rather than closing Guantanamo Bay, he should be filling up the place because terrorism is on the march, he said. Detainees transferred this week to Kazakhstan were captured in Pakistan and turned over to the United States because of suspected ties to the Al-Qaeda terrorist group, which Obama last week declared victory over and pulled out of Afghanistan. Funny that. They were regarded as enemy combatants accused of working with terrorists in Afghanistan after the U.S.-led invasion following the terrorist attacks of September 11th, 2001. 3 of the detainees identified by the Department of Defense are from Yemen. Asim Tabat Abdullah al-Kwalaki, Mohammed al-Hussein Kanhanyana, and Sibri Mohammed Ibrahim al-Qushari. Oh, say that.
How many different families do you have?
Well, never mind me. God, these guys with these 17 names, they've got it going on there.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Yeah, well, you know what? I challenge you, Sir Louis. Yes, I challenge you to say that paragraph of names for me right now.
That was a mistake on my part.
Just as I suspected. That's right. I'll move on now. Yes. The other 2, which I did not name, are from Tunisia. And their names are Adel al-Hakimi and Abdullah bin al-Lufti, who had been held for more than 12 years and 11 years, respectively. The men range in age from the mid-30s to the late 40s and used many aliases. I'd like to see a list of those, huh? Yes. They provided varying levels of intelligence about Al-Qaeda under extreme torture and waterboarding. And those subsequent Al-Qaeda operations. According to the Defense Department, documents released by WikiLeaks, oh yes, another credible source there. Oh man. In some cases, officials said they provided inaccurate information or did not appear to know about terrorist operations. None of the 5 detainees were ever tried. One man, Asim Talhit Abdullah al-Kulaki, yes, that was the... he was born in Saudi Arabia, but denied citizenship there because his father was Yemeni, according to documents. The report said that John Walker Lind, an American currently serving 20 years in prison for supplying services to the Taliban and carrying a weapon on the Taliban front lines, stated detainee traveled with his group to the front lines. Yeah. Information about the detainees was also obtained through interviews with Abu Zabadiyah, an Al-Qaeda operative who was subjected to harsh interrogation by the CIA operatives after his capture. Those techniques, which a Senate Intelligence Committee report released in December said were extreme, have been called torture by President Obama. For example, Zabadia and al-Khalaki fought with al-Qaeda in the final days before the Taliban fell in Afghanistan, according to the Defense Department report. Khalaki, the military documents show, was recommended for transfer from Guantanamo on January 1st, 2007. One of the Tunisian transfers, Adel al-Hakimi, was accused of being a military advisor to 9/11 leader Osama bin Laden and battled U.S.-led forces in Afghanistan, according to a document posted on WikiLeaks. Another Tunisian, Abdullah bin al-Lufti, has had a variety of health problems, according to documents, and name problems, too, evidently, including kidney stones, depression, high blood pressure, and possible tuberculosis. The fact that the 5 detainees hailed from Tunisia and Yemen complicated their transfers further. The United States has been unwilling to send Yemens back to their home country because they could join militant activities there. Detainees have not been sent to Tunisia because of concern about possible persecution in that country. Greg McConnell, an attorney who represented Sabri Mohammed al-Ibram al-Qushari, said that the government cleared his client for removal in 2009, but, quote, there was no easy transfer for him because of the government instability in Yemen. Yeah. So there you go. That's the Gitmo deal. So you're looking probably at a whole bunch of fun Gitmo stuff coming up in 2015. So buckle your seatbelts and be ready for that. Yes. And now a cute little story. A cute little story before we go for our top of the hour break and bring in our special mystery guest. The 95-year-old man who died 2 weeks after his wife was taken away. Someone take my wife, please. Fairfax County, Virginia. 2 weeks after his wife was taken away to Florida, a 95-year-old Virginia man has died. Last summer, Eddie Harrison and 96-year-old Edith Hill celebrated their wedding with friends and family. But their happily ever after soon turned into a nightmare. One of Edith's daughters said she has dementia and couldn't make her own decisions about her house or her care. After a court hearing in December 2014, Edith was taken from Eddie. The couple had been living in Virginia with Edith's older daughter, Rebecca, who said her sister wanted to separate Edith and Eddie and sell her mother's house and get the money. Yeah, I was going to say, wanted to separate Edith and Eddie from their money. Rebecca didn't want to see her mother go. Neither did Eddie. I want my wife back, he says. I want her back home with me. I didn't want her to go, and I didn't want her to go. Yes, Eddie told WUSA 9 2 weeks before he died. A conservator told WUSA 9 by phone that they had an assisted living facility for Edith and Eddie, but Eddie had never been on a plane before, and he didn't want to go. He stayed in Alexandria in Edith's home with Rebecca. I was born and raised in Alexandria, Virginia, and I lived there all my life, and she was born in Virginia, and she's lived in Virginia all her life. And there you go. So that's what money-grubbing, greedy family stuff will get you in 2015. All right, coming up on the top of the hour, we're going for that commercial break actually on time for the first time today in the show. And when we come back, kind of a very special guest here in the studio with us right now, live as we speak. They're here. See, I didn't say he or she is here. See that? See what I did there? And no, I don't have a transgender sitting here ready to come on the air and tell us how they're a man, woman, man. No, I don't have that. So we're not going to do that. So we'll be back in 2 minutes, gang, and we will unveil the mystery guest.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
It could be 7 in the morning.
Or 10 at night.
In Chilliwack, BC.
Or St. Peter's, Nova Scotia.
It could be Michelle.
Or Mark.
Or Jen.
But whenever.
Wherever you order that cup of Tim Hortons Premium Blend Coffee. You know that it's always fresh.
From Newfoundland and Labrador to Vancouver Island, Tim Hortons, a coffee all our own.
Instead of mailing everyone my vacation photos, I'm saving a ton of time by posting them to my wall.
Ooh, I like that one.
It's so quick. It's just like my car insurance. I saved 15% in just 15 minutes.
I saved more than that in half the time.
I'd unfriend you.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
15 minutes for a quote isn't how it works anymore. With Esurance, 7.5 minutes could save you on car insurance. Welcome to the modern world. Esurance, backed by Allstate. Click or call.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly
careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was
beautiful.
A broom closet.
But the
worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the
Egyptian cotton towels.
Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York.
Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
In this fast-paced, digital everything life, there's nothing like experiencing the world's finest journalism in its original form. So sign up today for as little as $3.80 a week to receive the greatest newspaper in the world and all the incredible experiences that come with it.
White Rum has a new captain. Introducing the all-new Captain Morgan White Rum. 5 times distilled for a smoother taste.
The hot new accessory, brows that wow. New from Maybelline, New York, it's Brow Drama, our first sculpting ball brush with tinted gel. Just sweep, then sculpt for bolder, sculpted brows. New Brow Drama. Get the look at Maybelline.com.
Maybe it's Maybelline. You've got it locked to New York's best talk. HTLA Radio 1.
That's right. HTLA Radio Fun is what I like to call it. Yes, on this December 31st, New Year's Eve 2014, 32 degrees Central Park right now. The sun has come out to play. I'm just going to suck that last few little segment rays of light in before I get pounded with 4 feet of snow. Welcome back to the program. Jenny in the booth, of course. Louie on the live via satellite link.
That was a mistake on my part.
Yeah.
No, I don't, because I asked him. I said, "Well, fly out here and I'll film you."
Yeah, of course you did. I'm all about that. Yes, you actually.
We were 5 steps away from winning the Academy Award, and we didn't. I think it should be short and sweet.
Well, it's going to be. I'm going to cut you off right there, and we're going to continue on with the show, because we have a very special guest in the studio with us today.
Which woman are you married to or living with now?
Well, you're going to find out in just a hot little second here, because, of course, our special guest for today's Coffee and Cigarettes, the 2015 Blend pre-New Year's show, the only show you're getting out of HTLA Radio 1 New York is this one today. We are not doing Film 101 tonight. We are not doing Real Talk tonight. We're out at the Times Square dropping our balls. That's what we're doing. So, ladies and gentlemen, the CEO of HTLA Radio 1 New York, sitting beside me right here. Yes, I can reach out and poke her. There she is, the one, the only, Kate Taylor.
Hello, everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Big surprise guest. Yes. What a surprise. Shocker.
Nobody saw that coming.
Nobody saw that coming. No, of course not. Well, it could have been Tristan or something.
Well, true, but I don't think the folks in the live chat even knew it would be you.
No, because I was faking him out and being in there a little bit.
Yeah, you're off on the chat thing there. And you've got quite the fan base in there. You got people sending you stuff, and you sending stuff back or something, I think I read in there earlier.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, you're doing...
I get my fair share, definitely. And yeah, we were just talking. I have Devilon's got a download Monday of Straight Talk because I talked about her on that show Monday and the tree she sent me for Christmas.
That's right, you
the
did.
Hello Kitty tree because she knows how much I love Hello Kitty. So.
Yeah.
And we did a whole bunch of shout-outs on Monday's show. You were just among them, so.
Oh, McGurd. Yeah.
That's right. It was so many.
Yeah, we did, we did all of them.
Well, we did all, and then if we forgot anybody.
Yeah.
Because there was quite a few, I'm sure, that we forgot. So.
Yes, it is. So what brings your loveliness down to the old broadcast studio today?
Oh, we try every year, like the Queen, to do a holiday address as much as possible if we can.
Right.
But with the big move this year and all the other things that we've had going on, it's just not feasible to have a house full of company and to run down to the studio and do a holiday address.
Absolutely.
So it just didn't kind of work. But hopefully next year maybe we'll video it in the
I
we'll
think
have
that
the
would
facilities for that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of great presents this year, though, like for that sort of thing, because hubby actually built me a big grand studio light set up for the kitchen, so I can work on my my recipes and my how-to clips and things for the Home Talk blog.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
which is coming very soon. I know you were working your butt off on that this morning.
Oh yes, and I'm just, if I sound a little tired, it's because I am. So, I don't know how I'm going to make it to midnight tonight. Honestly.
Yeah, you all don't understand. Kate works probably about 20 hours a day.
I do.
Yeah, I think you get 3.5 hours sleep if you're lucky.
4. Well, see, that's why it's important that you come to bed on time, because then I get a nice sleep going, and then you come to bed and wake me up.
Oh, it's my fault.
And then I can't go back to sleep again until like an hour or so, and then it's time to get up.
Yeah.
But at least the baby's good, sleeping through now. And there was a time when our daughter would have to get up at like 5:30 to go to school.
Right.
So, of course, I'd have to get up at 5:45 to make sure she was ready and off and, kiss her goodbye. I could never just let her go. So, yeah, I was getting up at like 5:45 for her, and then again at 7 for the baby for the day, and then at 8 for us to get up to go to work. And, yeah.
It was just nutty.
It was. I'm very grateful 2015 will not be like that.
No.
I have dedicated the last portion of this month, well, the last couple of months really, though, to organizing and devising a militaristic plan for our 2015. So everybody's going to stay on board.
Or else.
Right. Yes, because we have a lot of big things coming that if we're not, organized and regimented, it's just not going to happen. So
that's right.
But in honor of the holiday, I have a little poem here I'd like to give to your listeners for coffee and cigarettes. It's my New Year's gift, I guess.
Wow.
So,
okay. All right.
I don't have any theme music to go along with it, like a friend of mine's Lyrical Playhouse that I used to like.
Well, answer me this. Is it a touching piece?
It is. Well, yes, I suppose. It's only 2 brief paragraphs.
Okay. Well, there we go. How about this?
Perfect. Okay. Happy New Year. We wish you all the best. Work hard to reach your fondest goals, but don't forget to rest. We're hoping for your dreams come true, contentment, peace, and more, and a brighter, better New Year than you've ever had before.
Well, there you go.
That's it. Happy New Year to our friends and fans and HTLA family.
Wow. Very nice. I like that. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Huh. Well, look at you.
It's kind of our motto for this year, too, so might as well.
Aren't you the poet? We should actually get you to try the Alphabet Aerobics.
No, I was listening to that segment. Thanks. I did the rap thing. No, thanks.
Well, why don't you regale the listeners right now with your rap? Give us a couple of lines.
My rap?
Yeah.
I don't know how to rap.
You don't know how to rap?
No, and I can't even rap presents, so there you go.
Well, we did that, the Harris Taylor thing, that whole Kingdom track I
That
wrote.
was you, and that was so good. That Kingdom Come, that you should play that sometime on here.
Oh, I don't got to play it. I can do it right now.
Really? You remember it?
Well, my name's Daryl, and that's my boy Chris. We running for prez. Yeah, that's how it is. We got the policy, platform, and campaign. We're going to bring it to the people and let freedom reign.
Wow, I can't believe you remember that. I wish we had a clapping.
Well, we do.
Here.
Come on, kids.
Yay! That was so good you remembered that. I'm impressed.
Oh, hey. No
Look
problem.
out, Kanye. Your days are numbered.
I got the whole thing. Yeah. Who?
Wow. OMG.
Yes, the guy's whose bum is nicer than his wife's.
Please. What an egomaniac. I don't even, when I saw Kimalicious, I was so glad that was because, we forbid the Kardashians from
we do.
crossing the lips of anybody who entered the building.
On my part.
Yes.
Yes, that includes you too, Louis. So, yeah.
We'll blame Louis for any Kim Kardashian stuff.
Well, any Kardashian stuff. It's just, it's as forbidden as talking about whatever else there is. That
everything
would be just as bad.
It's forbidden to talk about as all the other stuff I talk about every Crash Talk.
Well, that's pretty much true, too. Right.
Well, I tell you, I could have used your help with the transgender show last night.
No, you didn't need my help. That was a wonderful, very well-researched and impressive show.
Well, I tried. Thank you. Thank you.
You're
I appreciate
welcome.
that. I was just kind of... I don't know if I actually did it, but I was actually kind of almost putting out there that, this, instead of looking at it as a deviation or some sort of genetic failing, I was thinking more on the positive turn. Maybe it's some sort of an evolutionary thing that's happening now. Because before 30 years ago, it wasn't even recorded.
No, and even, Hoover and all those people, cross-dressers, have been around forever.
Sure.
But it was
But,
in Louis XIV's court, you always had the aristocrats want to put on the frilly things and do all that sort of thing.
Yes, but when, I talk to homosexual men and homosexual women groups, or I talk to cross-dressers.
Yeah, it's an aberration, the whole wanting to actually go under the knife and switch your gender.
None of those groups, which were once considered as outlandish and far-reaching as transgender and transsexuals, none of them can understand it.
I think, and I hate to say it, but just like all the other things that occur in this world, it's psychologically based. It's a failing of the core unit that children don't grow up with each part that they need to be whole, and more so than ever, they're left to their own devices, if not physically, emotionally and psychologically in the home. They're abandoned.
Well, and it's good that you brought up the kids, because I have a serious question that I could not find answers to last night on the show.
You really made sense when you hit it home to me when you're talking about 5-year-olds that want.
This is what I wanted to ask you, because I know you've got a psychological background specifically in
early childhood development.
Early childhood development. Now, these 5-year-olds on the Tyra Banks show.
Wow.
Do you have any kind of explanation for how that might occur?
Well, I have an esoteric explanation, but there's too many for it to be that. And that's, in a past life, they were that gender, and they were born too soon into the body that they're in, and they just can't reconcile the two. Okay. And that's my esoteric, beyond this terrestrial explanation. But as for a psychological explanation, I think it has a lot. Look, children, as they're growing up and they're assuming their sexual identity, we all experiment. We all, you'll get your little boys that want to play with dolls because they see the girls doing it. They're just curious about what it feels like to play with a doll. They don't want to be a girl.
Oh, yeah.
My son, he's going to go through a phase when he's about 4 where if I'm getting dressed to go to an event, he's going to want to put my heels on and try and walk around the room.
Sure.
It's more like I'm Indiana Jones trying to do the tightrope and not fall into the pit of lava than it is I want to be a girl.
Right.
But parents see these things, and I think they get the wrong impression and the wrong idea, and they start fostering things that are just natural stages of development that if you just ignore them, they'll reconcile themselves over time. All girls at some point, 5, 6, 7 especially, want to play baseball, or they want to be a police officer, or, they don't want to be the damsel in distress. They want to be the cowboy. Does that mean they all grow up to be, bull lesbians and all? No, it's just we all want to experiment. And when you're a child under 10, I'll even say as far as under 10, it's not about the gender. It's about the identity, full stop. You know, you're not sure who you are, so you're trying on all these characters of who you might potentially be. And that's where we pull these pieces of ourselves that eventually we form into who we are as we get older. The things that we do that are enjoyable, that we get positive feedback from, that we're comfortable with, that promote a response that gives us that feeling of acceptance and goodness, whatever it may be, is what we'll hold on to and build on.
Right.
So if a mother thinks it's cute that her 4-year-old is walking around wanting to put on her makeup and wearing her shoes, and if it's I'm not saying if your son does that, because you can do the alternate too, because back in the 50s, you know, you had parents that if they caught their son doing that, they'd have kill him, you know, and all that kind of thing, and that's wrong too. You know, you just explain to them that, you know, it's fun to play, you know, but that's just clothes. It has nothing to do with anything.
Well, you know, it really got me with the Tyra Banks episode there about that one boy. I think his name was Josh. He was 5 years old in the original picture on the show.
It's heartbreaking.
And then they showed Josh at 8 years old now, 3 years later, and Josh has got long blonde hair, and he dresses like a little girl and all this stuff. But here's the interesting thing. They went and toured all of these kids' bedrooms.
Right.
And in each and every case, these bedrooms, you know, if it was once a boy and it was going to be a girl, the bedroom of 8-year-old Josh, who was now, I think her name was Alyssa, the bedroom is like, you know, something you would see in Better Homes and Gardens.
Looked like mine when I was growing up. The white furniture, the ruffled pink stuff, all that kind of stuff.
Pink, frilly, everything. It was like a princess's getaway. And the parents had to have spent at least $10,000 on all the...
Exactly. And this is the dilemma, though, because I think it's not wrong that we want to nurture our children. But if you don't have the other elements in place and you're just doing that, then you're doing them a disservice if you were being too disciplinarian. There's an overboard in each direction. There has to be a balance, a healthy balance.
Right.
If you indulge your child's every whim and every flight of fantasy, and you know, they're going to grow up thinking that's the way life is, and they can live like that, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And it's not okay, because, you know, they get to school, and because it was so well accepted and they were so universally loved for no matter what they said or did at home, they go to school and now they're the targets of these horrific bullies, and people are mean and people are bad, and you have 8-year-olds hanging themselves in their closets. And, you know, this is the reason the world is like it is today. This is the reason that more than ever before in our entire history since we've been alive as a human species have more suicides under age 10. Than ever before. It was unheard of for children under 10 to kill themselves.
Yeah.
Kids just didn't think like that.
No.
You know, I mean, maybe they'd try and jump off a roof thinking they could fly and it would be an accident, but nobody intentionally, you know, very, very rare occasion.
Yeah.
You know, that a child was that, you know, precocious to think of suicide as an answer to their daily life problems. What kid under 10 had daily life problems?
Exactly. And I can tell you, in researching for this show every day, because I do, there's not a day that goes by that I don't come across a news story somewhere in this country alone where some child has killed themselves.
And it's heartbreaking to me as a parent. You know, and now, you know, of course, our teenage girl has pulled it a couple times because she knows it's a, you know, one of those things. And it's one thing when your kids are going to do that for the attention, and it's just like the first time they say, I hate you, you know, they have to do it once to see if they can get away with it and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, but even though, you know, I made in no uncertain terms that, well, I'm not falling for that crap and don't ever do that again. That's not going to fly here. So just don't even bother doing that kind of thing. You know, she hasn't done it. But the rock in my stomach was no different, you know, than I'm sure other parents experience when their kids do that.
Well, I just had this urge to go in the backyard, grab the shovel, come in, bash her skull in, and drag her out and bury her.
Right. Well, it's the case that they say.
But I didn't do it.
No, of course not. But, you know, kids that are really serious and that have clinical depression and, you know, pathology that would lead to an actual committance of that kind of act, they're not going to say, well, you shut off my Wi-Fi, so I'm going to kill myself. You know, they're not going to do that. There's going to be signs and there's going to be a history, and, you know, parents really need to be more involved in their kids' social media and the stuff on the internet. They just do. I mean, she might have accounts that we don't know about, but we know all her main accounts, you know, and all her friends, and we message they all message me on Facebook and all this kind of stuff. I'm really involved, and I try to be savvy and, keep at least as much as possible, a working knowledge of what's going on and things like that.
Sure, yeah.
Because you have to, because they'll put it out to their friends, and, by the time you find out about it, it's too late. But a lot of parents aren't, they're not like us.
No.
They're not computer savvy. They don't have the luxury that we're eternally blessed to work from home and have our kids with us and have all that, that we can be with them all the time too. And, which is not good in a way, but it's good in a way. But, everything has pros and cons too.
Sure, yeah.
But,
well, listen, we're going to go for our final commercial break on this special hour-and-a-half coffee and cigarettes. And yes, this will be the last 90-minute coffee and cigarettes as per the CEO demands.
That's right. And the last show of 2014.
And the last show of 2014, right. So we'll be back in 2 minutes, and we'll do the big send-off here for 2015.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
I just love spring weddings.
No, can't wait for the reception.
Hey, what time do we have to be there?
Not till 6:30. We've got some time.
Want to grab a snack?
No. I'm starving. I need like an actual lunch. Yeah, like a sandwich.
Why don't we go to Tim's? You think there's one around here? Obviously.
It's lunch done right with Tim Hortons' new turkey chipotle sandwich on a perfectly toasted cheese bagel. Just $3.99 for a limited time.
Always Tim Hortons.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the
Egyptian cotton towels.
Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York.
Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Instead of mailing everyone my vacation photos, I'm saving a ton of time by posting them to my wall.
Ooh, I like that one.
It's so quick. It's just like my car insurance. I saved 15% in just 15 minutes.
I saved more than that in half the time.
I'd unfriend you.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
15 minutes for a quote isn't how it works anymore. With Esurance, 7.5 minutes could save you on car insurance. Welcome to the modern world. Esurance, backed by Allstate. Click or call.
I always said shoes are like women. They inspire beautiful music.
But what about these?
Stilettos sound like this.
What does my fragrance inspire?
That's got soul.
My ties are beautiful. They don't need music.
Bringing the stars together. That's the magic of Macy's.
In this fast-paced, digital everything life, there's nothing like experiencing the world's finest journalism in its original form. So sign up today for as little as $3.80 a week to receive the greatest newspaper in the world and all the incredible experiences that come with it.
The hot new accessory? Brows that wow. New from Maybelline, New York, it's Brow Drama, our first sculpting ball brush with tinted gel. Just sweep, then sculpt for bolder, sculpted brows. New Brow Drama. Get the look at Maybelline.com.
Maybe it's Maybelline. You've got it locked to New York's best talk, HTLA Radio 1.
Yes, you do, Kissy. Thank you very much. Kissy Springer, HTLA intern, and she's pretty awesome on the mic, gotta say. Yes, we're back with the big program, Coffee and Cigarettes, the 2015 blend for your perusal and pleasure. And last segment there, we had the special guest in the house, Miss Kate Taylor, CEO of HTLA Radio 1 New York. And, of course, she is now left the building, yes, gone back off to some power meeting somewhere, and left me here all alone with topless Jenny. Yes. And of course, those wonderful kids we all know and love, and the one and only Mr. Louis Lawless, all the way from Mill Bay Studios in Mill Bay, British Columbia, Canada.
That was a mistake on my part.
Well, I know, but we're back and you're here, and so, you know, move forward. Yes, don't dwell on the mistakes of the past, Louis. Move forward.
You love to do that kind of stuff. You always did.
Yeah.
And put your name up there and dress in different stuff. So fantastic. If I can be of any help, let me know. So what's the email address?
Producer at htlaradio1.com.
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
Well, getting to our final story of the day, Bridezilla. Yes, a dumped bride makes a splash with Trash the Dress. Yeah. Shelby Swink has a powerful message. When life throws you a mess, make an even bigger mess. When her fiancé unexpectedly dumped her 5 days before their wedding on November 1st, Swink, 23 years old, decided to commemorate the day with some unconventional and colorful wedding portraits. Yeah, she said, I knew that a pity party was the farthest thing from what I wanted or needed. A few people brought up the idea of trashing the dress, and at first it sounded crazy, Swink said in an email. The ingredients for a memorable Trash the Dress family friends celebratory cigars, champagne, and paint, and lots of it. Wallowing was not invited to the party. Via a phone call from her hometown of Memphis, Tennessee, Swank tells us that the inside scoop, Liz Horde the photographer wanted to make sure we wouldn't go all out and just throw all the paint in 15 minutes. No, she wanted to stage it, so it starts formally and everyone slowly loosens up. By the end, she says, everyone is crazy and wild. The day of the shoot, Swink says, it was freezing out. We were wet with the paint and our fingers were numb, but it was so much fun just to live in the moment. And Louis, you talk about being in the moment as actors quite often, don't you?
I lived in Greenwich Village for a while when I first started out as an actor.
Yes, and you were in the moment. Yes, you were. and just one more time, just because I got to do it.
Artificial amateurs aren't at all amazing. Analytically, I assault and animate things. Broken barriers bounded by the bomb beat. Buildings are broken basically and bombarding. Casually create catastrophes, casualties. Canceling cats got the canopies collapsing. Detonate a dime a dank Galen doing dough. Demonstrations, Don Dada on the down low. Eating other editors with each and every energetic epileptic episode. Elevated etiquette. Furious, fat, fabulous, fantastic. Flurries of funk felt feeding the fanatics. Gift got great, global goods gone glorious. Getting godly in his game with the glorious. Hit him high, hella high, historical. Hey, Holocaust, Instagram, holler at your homeboy. Imitators idolize, I intimidate in an instant. All rides in an outrage state. Juice on my jams like Derek Curls, rocking joints justly. It's just me writing my journals. Kindly I'm kindling all kinds of ink on. Karate kick, cat Brits in my kingdom. Let me live a long life, lyrically lessons as learn lane loss to just lose to my livery. My mind makes marvelous, move masses. Marvel and move many.
All right, I'm gonna let that go there. She's pretty awesome. That's pretty amazing. Anyhow, back to the story. Thanks. Just had to do that little break there to just break things up a little bit, make you think, geez, you never know what you're going to hear on HTLA Radio 1 New York, and really you don't, or you might think, but then there's always something we throw in there that you're not expecting. Yes. Swank says that when her fiancé broke up with her, she felt numb. They started dating at the beginning of 2011 and moved in together in December 2013 and got engaged in March. While the fame is unexpected from her splashy photo shoot, Swink is excited at the photos, and they have empowered others in her situation. So many people have contacted me telling their stories. I did the photo shoot for myself, not realizing that it would affect others so much, says Swink. Her advice? Quote, everything happens for a reason, and when life gives you something you can't handle, just face it head on. And I think that's a brilliant piece of advice to take with us all into 2015. Everything happens for a reason, and when life gives you something you just can't handle, face it head on. Well, that's all the time we got for today on this Coffee and Cigarettes 90-minute special, the 2015 blend. From all of us at HTLA here, Louie, Jenny, myself, and yes, even Bart the dog, we wish you the best for 2015. And remember, everything happens for a reason, and when life gives you something you can't handle, just face it head on. We will see you next year, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Coffee and Cigarettes. Have a great New Year's Eve. Stay safe.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.